Welcome to the show today, baby. This your boy Jimbo Dean, aka Jimbo Slice, aka Jimmy Obama. And you can call me any one of those you want. But please do not call me no New Orleans Saints fan. This is pound for pound, ATL, Draft House 5.0, 6.0, something like that. We on the road, Big Mike. Hey man, this week we got something for y'all. This draft out, it ain't no trade back scenario. We stand where we at. But it's time to be a little controversial in here, man. It's time to be the devil advocate, as we like to say. Big Mike, how you doing over there in Atlanta? Ground Zero, pound for pound ATL, Draft House, me and you. What's up, big dog? How you feeling today? How you feeling this Saturday, man?
Hey, first of all, it's Saturday. You know, we worked hard. You know, we've done what we had to do for everybody else. This is our time right now. This Draft House, right? So the one thing I'll say is shout out to all of y'all that commented last week. I thought that y'all, the engagement last week and the level of passion for these drafts, these mocks, it's increasing every week. Like, it's actually quite fascinating because, you know, I looked at some of the scenarios where they thought, you know, some of the comments were like, you guys only got a second rounder. You could have got a first rounder of next year. You could have got a fifth rounder. You could have got a fourth rounder. So that's what makes these things so fun. It is, you know, it's the controversy, it's the back and forth, it's the discourse, as we like to say. But the one thing I'll say about this week is it's another week of that. So I would expect you guys to be back in the comments, back commenting, because this week is a little bit of controversial, but it's necessary. Sometimes, Jimbo, a little controversy is necessary. Talk to him, big dog.
Hey, and it is because sometimes you got to address the elephant in the room. It just is what it is. And in my case this week on Draft House, that's right. After listening to Dan Pease, man, boy, that man can get you. The old school coaches get you fired up and get you going. And everything that seems to be coming out of Dan Pease's mouth, simply because of history and just his veteran presence and just who his name is in the game, it sure got me fired up. So this 3-round mock draft. And y'all gonna notice me and Mike gonna go one. We did a trade back. We did. We stayed at what we were. We started to do all this, but we finna start to go deeper and deeper into rounds. And what I mean by that, we're gonna start to hit y'all with this week. We're gonna hit y'all with 3rd round. Next week we're gonna hit y'all with 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, on and on. Then we're gonna start hitting y'all with them sleepers. Stay tuned. It's going down, and it really don't get no better than this over there. No better than this over here at Pound for Pound ATL. And believe me, we're motivated, and we love to do this. Shout out to JR. Shout out to Toby D. Hey, man. This is it, man. We get into it, okay? If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And tell your friends and your family about us. Because if they like to talk Atlanta Falcons, they need to be here with us over here on this Pound for Pound ATL channel and getting down with us. Okay, let's get to it, Big Mike. And I'm gonna start off. And look here, man. I'm in a reach. I'm in my reach. I'm in my feelings right now with this reaching right now. Listening to Dan Pease. And what Dan Pease saying that is, they gonna have to worry about everything we do. Every player on the field gonna be able to, we blitzing from everywhere. We're gonna be versatile. We're gonna be a 4-3. We're gonna be a 3-4. Hell, we might even be a 5-2. We're gonna run cover 2. We're gonna run man. We're gonna run all that. We might switch it up at halftime. They're gonna have to be ready for whatever we got coming from them, and we're gonna have to do whatever we got to do to stop the other team. And I love that he said that. So with my first pick, I am going to reach. That's right, your big boy. And I don't even think it's a reach in my eye. Y'all let me know in the comments below. But I don't feel like I'm reaching when it comes to Dan Pease. I think this is Dan Pease guy from top to bottom, Big Mike. Now hear me out. And that right there. That go my mock draft. That go my draft right there. Y'all see my 3 picks.
Yeah.
Zaven Collins out of the University of Tulsa.
Whoa.
6'4", 260 pounds. I'm taking him at that 4th pick, man. This year he had 36 solo tackles, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and that's right, 4 interceptions, where he was tied 8th in the nation. Not just among linebackers, but everybody. So you know what that tell me about this guy. That's what they tell me about this guy when it comes to Dan Pease. Let's tie them two together. This guy can do everything. At 6'4", 260, he can stop the run. He also can drop back in coverage. His zone coverage, go and watch his highlight tapes. Go and watch his film. The boy got so many interceptions, and he had I think he had like 2 pick 6. I think he had a pick 6 this year where he ended the game on somebody. I want to say against UCF or Memphis, one of the two. But this is my guy. 4 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, 4 sacks. This is my guy. And what I'm looking at it from a Dan Pease stance, eye view. Catch out that Falcons eye view by JR. Anyway, plug that in there. But I'm looking at it from Dan Pease way. You can move this guy all over the field, Mike. You can put his hand in the ground. He can be a 3-point stand rusher. He can stand up and be a 2-point stand rusher. He can drop into zone. He can play man on your tight end. He's big enough, 6'4", 260, and he's fast. He's physical, and he likes to run around. He likes to run and hit. What Dan Pease said, got a lot of guys over here that like to run and hit. If our linebacker core is like we said it is, which we think it is, why not add this guy to that linebacker core and make it even stronger than it already is? Kind of like what Terry Fontenot was referring to. So Zaven Collins, I'm getting you at number 4, big dog. You are no longer finna stay on the board. You are about to be an Atlanta Falcon. So Big Mike, your draft, your turn to go ahead and take a swing at this thing. I reached, but I don't feel like I reached in my eyes when it comes to Dan Pease. This guy's is a big time player. What you got coming up for the folk, man?
So first of all, let's touch on that pick really quick, because that's bold. First of all, Zaven Collins, first round, at that spot, he's got to come in and be an impact player from day one. But I will say this: listening to Dan Pease, we'll get it, Coach Pease. Hey,
Coach Pease.
The one thing I realize about this guy is, you're right, he is looking for missiles. This guy fits that. He fits that prototype, right? 6'4", 260, can run, can hit, can cover. We will find a place for him on this defense. And at the end of the day, we may not get that edge rusher that everybody is looking at, because what we're noticing in the NFL is pressure is coming from a lot of different ways. And I think coaches are being committed to that with, just a consistent, these teams consistently spreading the ball out, so you have a lot of corners that need to blitz, so I think that's not too far fetched. I think that he is a guy that, and that's a bit of homework for everybody at Pound for Pound ATL. Let's do a little bit of research on this guy and, just see how he fits, because Jimbo probably is ahead of the ball. Because I do think that if Jimbo is already mentioning this guy potentially at the number 4 pick, he, at a minimum, has a bright NFL future in front of him, and definitely somebody we need to check out. Now, his is a bit of a, I guess, considered a reach. Mine is more of a pipe dream that is really starting to possibly grow some fruit, right? And you're like, what am I talking about? Because if you look back at some of our earlier shows, you'll notice I said, listen, I'll tell you right now, this guy will not be on the board when we get to the number 4 pick. It just won't work. I've seen enough of what I need to see out of this guy to say that he will not be on the board at the number 4 pick. But a lot of things, football has a way of working itself out. And I think a lot of multiple factors have shown themselves over the last couple of weeks. And I think, one, I would say the emergence of Devontae Smith winning the Heisman is just looking completely unguardable. Brett Favre went as far to say this guy could be the next Randy Moss. High praise. Now, again, I think that's a little too much pressure to put on the kid, but definitely high praise from a guy that knows how to play the game, right? But I really am starting to buy into this whole Tua to Devontae Smith reunion. So I think because of that same fact, some players that we really need may start to slip back to us. But not only will some players that we need slip back to us, there are some players that, again, are pipe dreams that I think may slip back to us. And I'm going to go Justin Fields this week because it's time for that. Look to your neighbor and say, it's time for that. So it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time that we go ahead and look at Justin Fields as an Atlanta Falcon. The reason being is that Robert Saleh, the new coach of the Jets, I think he's pleased with Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold wants to be a Jet. I think that is a good match that may, it may work for a couple more years. I think that Sam Darnold is a good quarterback, and I think you got to allow Ulbrich and Saleh, to run their defenses and offenses, and build something there. So because of that, I really think that the Jets may get a Penei Sewell, to get a left tackle, because that's, they need one. Like, I mean, if you're gonna buy and invest into your quarterback, you got to get him a left tackle. So I think that with that, Trevor Lawrence probably goes to the Jaguars still.
Oh yeah, no question.
I think that leaves the opening for Justin Fields, and I think now let's just put it out there, because this is probably where people are like, no, we don't need a quarterback. Those people, there are a few people that.
Well, I'll go ahead and go there right now, Mike. And I got a little problem with that, Pete. I'm Matt Ryan. I'm Matt Ryan. Okay. I'm a former MVP of this whole NFL. I took this team to the Super Bowl, and you're gonna walk this kid in here right up under my tail as of right now, when I got this much money left on my contract, and I think I got something still left in the tank. So you playing GM right now, and you gonna walk this kid up on. I don't think in this position that we're in now, why not wait on that? Because it's plenty more drafts to come, I think, in my eyes. And I ain't saying I'm informally disagreeing with your pick. I might be formally disagreeing with it.
I love it. Come on, no, come on, baby, come on.
But let me get Matt Ryan a running game. Let me run the ball. I want to run the ball, and I'm going to make Matt Ryan look better than he since 2016 if I'm Arthur Smith. But you're gonna walk this young kid, this high flying kid, wide-eyed into Atlanta, and you're gonna walk him up under my tail like that? That's how you're gonna do me, Matt Ryan? That did all this for this organization? Is it that time?
And Jimbo Slice, I love the analysis, and I love where you're coming from, because you're absolutely right. And I think you give Matt Ryan a running game, absolutely. That's what kept us normal. I thought the passing game was on par,
right,
how it usually is. But that running game, absolutely. But here's my thought. Terry Fontenot, Terry F. Baby, the voodoo doctor, as you like to call him,
right,
he's committed to the best player available. So if he's telling you that he's committed to the best player available, my thought is this. If he is the best player available, we bring him in. And ultimately, look at Patrick Mahomes. He sat behind Alex Smith, did pretty well. Aaron Rodgers, he sat behind Brett Favre, did pretty well. Ultimately, you take the pressure off the kid from day one to come in and revive this city, and you give him the opportunity to learn from a pro. But it's a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. You also are Matt Ryan, and yes, I still got something left in the tank, and all of that it's true, because Matt Ryan has done enough and has proven himself to be one of the greatest quarterbacks this league has ever seen statistically. Look at the research. It's not a Matt Ryan hate. Matt Ryan statistically is one of the greatest quarterbacks this league has ever seen. But also, if things get bad, and in a franchise when things get bad and it's time to pull the plug, and it's time to say, well, his run there, it doesn't look as good as it used to. And I will say this, if I'm brutally honest, if I'm MR2 brutally honest to you right now, Jimbo Slice, some of the throws that I've seen downfield over the last couple of years have me more so like, man, if we could have had that extra, just a little bit more zip on it.
Right.
Just a couple of more plays. Now, again, the one thing I like about what you said is, if we don't get a Justin Fields, we still got more needs that, and I like the Zaven Collins. I love the reach, because ultimately what the fans are going to do, they're going to go back, they're going to look at film and say, wow, well, yeah, I could see him as a Falcon. And you're going to look at him a little bit different than just a regular linebacker who comes out of Tulsa, who's maybe trying to become an undrafted free agent.
Right. And ask yourself this with that pick, fans and Mike. Are you ready for a quarterback controversy over here with the Atlanta Falcons? Because I can remember when Vic came in, and boy, as soon as what his name what we had that quarterback who was that? Maddox?
Somebody. Was it Harrington? No, I don't even know.
No, I think it was somebody. It was Chandler. We had Chandler, I think. We had every time he had a bad throw, that stadium got riled up, boy, and it was Michael Vick chants going on up in that thing. Right. So MR2, if they bring in Fields at number 4, you better get ready for that, because one slip up, that stadium gonna erupt. That pressure is gonna get on Arthur Smith, and I don't know if Atlanta is ready for that. Anyway, let's move on to this second pick, Big Mike. And you went quarterback at 4. Yeah. I still want my quarterback. Now, I didn't agree almost just in with you on field because I was speaking from an MR2 standpoint. I got more in the tank, former MVP of the league. I want to go right here at my second pick. I'm going Mac Jones. All right, I'm going Mac Jones out of University of Alabama, and I say this. This guy the Senior Bowl was ridiculous. Okay, he can make every throw. He showed a little run. He showed that he can run the ball as well. He got a little. He's faster than Matt Ryan. I can tell you that. He's 6'3", 214. The guy threw for 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions. I heard an interview on him. I heard him being interviewed on XM Radio, NFL Radio on XM. And he said he modeled his game after a Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, and he loved the way Russell Wilson approaches the game. He loved the way them three guys just prepare and approach for the game. And that's how he's trying to model his game on how he approach coming to an NFL game. Now, he got the measurables. He can gun it. He can throw it soft. He can throw it hard. He can run it. Touch pass. He got all that. Now, y'all going to come out and say, well, Jimmy, look at all those 5 stars he was throwing to over there at Alabama. Okay. Well, when he gets to the NFL, look at the 5 stars. If he come to the Atlanta Falcons, look at the 5 stars he's going to be throwing to. Oh, we talking about pros. He's throwing to 5 stars in college that ain't even in the NFL yet. We talking about people that's in the NFL and former Alabama wide receivers such as a Julio Jones and a Calvin Ridley. And then you got Russell Gage and you got Hayden Hurst. He gonna have a plethora of people to throw to too, and no people with 5 stars as well. What are we talking about here? So I want my quarterback because, like you said, Mike, somebody gonna have to go ahead and get this sit and learn from Matt Ryan experience. Somebody gonna have to do it sooner or later. Matt Sharp done retired. We're gonna have to pull that trigger sooner or later. So with my second pick right there, I went with I went with Mac Jones, University of Alabama, 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns. 41 touchdowns, 41 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. I understand where he played. National champion, you can name it. Up for the Heisman, you name it. 6'3", 214, smart kid. He loved the game of football as well, and have a hell of a Senior Bowl practicing. He might not play in the game, but he done had some. He at practice, he done showed up and showed out. I like that guy at my second pick, Big Mike. Because we're going to have to get that quarterback sooner or later. I just don't know if I want him in the first round yet. But anyways, what you got for me?
First of all, it's always hard for me to talk positive about an Alabama quarterback but they've done a really good job over the last couple of years of having quarterbacks that are NFL ready. So I repeat, this guy is not John Parker Wilson. He is not AJ McCarron. Mac Jones is a stud. Mac Jones, I think, could potentially be one of the best quarterbacks when it's all said and done.
Right.
Out of this draft, just because you're absolutely right. I think, I looked at him as just another Alabama system guy, but when I saw, honestly, there was a point there. Don't get me wrong. The Alabama offense that he threw to, one of the greatest offenses in college football history.
Yeah.
But, I looked at some of the time, like every now and then, he didn't get hit a lot, at Alabama. But the few times he did get hit, a couple times he got chin checked. And I saw him come back the next play and throw a touchdown. So guys like that, it kind of tells you all you need to know about the guy. Takes a big hit, can come back, and continue to make plays. So that's something that you want in a quarterback. And to be honest with you, he is another guy that could benefit from learning from, a Matt Ryan. Now, if you look at him, he was the guy that was buried behind Tua, buried behind Jalen Hurts, bided his time. He's a guy that I'm actually more comfortable with learning from a Matt Ryan because I do think you're absolutely right. Justin Fields, one bad throw, one overthrow, and it's like JAF one. You could hear
it. Right.
Put Fields in. I hear it anyway. So we hear it. But like I said, that's a good pick for me. Now, I love the Zaven Collins pick. Again, I will do a little bit more research on him. You got my word on that one. But for me, we talked about the secondary last week. We talked about Horn last week. But there's a guy that is familiar who I will run to the podium and draft this guy if he's there in the second round. And for me, it's Eric Stokes, defensive back, University of Georgia, 6'1", 185 pounds, runs a 4.3 in the 40, has not given up a reception over 18 yards I believe since his sophomore year or redshirt freshman year.
Red shirt
Um,
freshman.
redshirt freshman year. So the thing I like about this guy is speed jumps off. I mean, his game is predicated upon speed. And he's also another guy that if he gets his hands on the ball for an interception, he more than likely is about to go, a pick six guy. He's a track guy, right? He's a guy that I've actually personally watched since he was in high school. Went to a small high school in Covington, Georgia, Eastside High School. Again, one of the fastest track guys in the country. Kind of reminds me of like a Miko Hartman type of athlete, but just on the defensive side of the ball, just a wiry guy who probably could have played receiver as well. But I think that's a guy that Dean Pease can work with. He's a guy that is a true outside corner. There's no need to really put him in, nickel wise, anything in the slot like that. He's a guy you could put him on the outside. You got that would have Stokes, we'd have Terrell. You could potentially put Sheffield down on the inside. But again, as I keep harping on, we want Sheffield on the inside to, just utilize his skills there. And I think that he's a guy that is not really as big as a Logan Ryan, but definitely plays the game a lot more physical than people realize. And sure tackler, again, I could go on and on. There's not really a lot of negatives because he's played against a lot of top SEC competition. Jamar Chase, he's seen Jalen Waddle, he's seen them all. And to be honest with you, the real reason why I went Eric Stokes at this pick, because I saw Eric Stokes there and Tyson Campbell, is that, to be honest with you, I'm a real Georgia Bulldogs fan. And I remember the game when they played Bama, where Jalen Waddle made Tyson Campbell look a little bit silly on that 90-yard bomb.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, yeah, that could happen in the NFL a little bit more than I see it with Eric Stokes. So I was more inclined, even though I think Tyson Campbell will be a decent corner for somebody's team. If you're a real Georgia Bulldogs fan and you really studied the technique, you know that Eric Stokes is the better corner of the two. So I go Eric Stokes. What's your thoughts, General?
And shout out to Tyson Campbell. That's a good one, Mike. He got defensive back award, the best defensive back award over there at the Senior Bowl this week. Had an outstanding goal line coverage like Tyson Campbell. Won't be a bad pick either.
Oh, wait. Hold on. No, that's DJ Daniel. Actually, that's another guy.
DJ Daniel. I'm sorry. DJ Daniel.
No.
My bad.
You're right. No. You're right. But no, I think that it shows that Georgia's secondary, but I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because Georgia's secondary, it feels like it might have been undercoached or underutilized. So that might be a little bit of a knock on the defensive backs coach, because what I'm noticing is, DJ Daniel was a guy that I thought his technique was a little bit poor. He was very grabby at Georgia, which is why he didn't really make a lot of standout plays. I thought he was on the field a lot. But again, he goes to the Senior Bowl and he's the top defensive back. So I do think that you may be striking gold a little bit there when you look at the value of the Georgia secondary, Mark Webb, these type of guys. They are performing at the Senior Bowl, which again, we got a special for y'all on the Senior Bowl coming up soon, but we won't touch on that right now. But I think, Jimbo, you're right on point. Like in terms of who these guys are and where their production is. So I mean, we've seen these guys. We've seen a lot from these guys.
Right. So and one thing that you brought up about Stokes that I like is he haven't gave up a deep ball since redshirt freshman. The key to the secondary, ladies and gentlemen, look here, Pound ATL. The golden rule in the secondary as a defensive back or corner is do not give up the deep ball. That's the golden rule. That's what make you a great defensive back. That's what make you stand out among others. And that's what Stokes do not do. He do not give up the deep ball. And if we can get a corner in on the other side of Terrell that's not giving up the deep ball, because let's just be honest, kind of like they did A.J. Terrell, they went at him. Once A.J. Terrell has solidified himself and you bring a Stokes and you put him over there, they're going to go at Stokes like no other. And as long as he don't give up the deep ball and he's a bend, don't break type of a corner his rookie year, I'll take that all day long. And I know Coach Pease will take that all day long as well, because you ain't going to have that long to throw the ball with him blitzing people from everywhere. Anyways, let's get this thing rolling, Big Mike. This is Draft House, and we ain't playing. Third round, on our way. And look here, man. Matt Ryan got sacked over 40+ times the past 3 years. Woo. I can't iterate that enough. I can't iterate that enough. So with me saying that, I need to get that left guard position. Go ahead and let's go ahead and get ready for that. Slide Matt Hennessy on over to the center, and let's just go ahead and get the ball rolling right there. So with me, with my third pick, I'm going Deontay Brown, left guard out of the University of Alabama, and I'm talking about a massive whale of a man. Okay, just his size alone is gonna help him be able to double team people without double teaming people. You understand me? Did give up too many sacks at the University of Alabama. My God, he didn't really have to. I mean, they had one of the best offensive lines with Leatherwood and him right there. They had one of the best
Oh
offensive
my God,
lines in the
yes.
country. Either way it went. But I
Stonewall.
think I think this 6'4", 350-pound man out of Decatur, Alabama. Now his Senior Bowl practices, he have guy beaten at practice. Don't get me wrong, but as a left guard, he's not gonna be blocking like that on the island like they had him in the Senior Bowl, like doing 1-on-1. He gonna be doing some 1-on-1, but he ain't gonna be doing it that much in the NFL. And I think he can protect Matt Ryan. And like I said, 6'4", 350 out of Decatur, Alabama, University of Alabama, won national championship. One of the biggest offensive linemen that was at the Senior Bowl this year. I think he'll be a sneak peek down there at that third round. I like his tenacity. I like his This is one of the biggest athletic people I have ever seen in my life, man. And I really, I'm serious. I really think this guy is just a freakish athlete. If he was 250 pounds, 6'4", 250 pounds, he'll be a middle linebacker. That's how athletic he is, and I like him. And this is the thing about him now. He loved the game of football. He just wanted to get better. And that showed me at the Senior Bowl. He had his off times, but he had a lot of good times as well. So I want to go ahead and solidify that line with my third pick. I'm going Deontay Brown, 6'4", 350-pound beast. And boy, in the run game, he gonna pancake some folks. And this is what I like because we're gonna run the ball a little bit more. And I know y'all know we are with Arthur Smith. So that's who I went with my third pick right there. I think that's a solid pick at third if he's there. Take him. You gotta run to the podium and take this guy. You gotta get some beef on that line and start pushing people around. And that's my pick, Big Mike. What's your third pick, man? What you got for me?
So before I go to my third pick, when you talk about Deontay Brown, Big Jimbo, I could picture us being little league coaches right now. And let's just say, you know how they have the little drafts where, you try to be nice and, it's about sportsmanship and,
Right.
whoever gets whatever player, it doesn't matter. We're just going to coach these guys up. That doesn't apply to Deontay Brown. I guarantee you, he's been like that since he was 6 years old.
Yeah,
Just a big
yeah.
guy. It's like, because you think about it, it's like you get a running back and it's pretty simple when you play us. We're just going to run behind him every play.
Right.
And he's just going to maul everybody every play. That guy is an absolute mauler on the line. And I think a guy like that is critical to, as you talked about, re-solidifying the run game, which I believe Arthur Smith is. He's a guru in as well. That's an Arthur Smith guy. So again, we start looking at these guys and you start thinking like, okay, who are some Arthur Smith guys? That definitely is an Arthur Smith guy.
No question about it.
Safe pick. Now, let's go back to our buddy, Mr. Pease, Coach Pease, the honorable Coach Pease.
Yes.
Now, when we talked a little bit earlier about, he basically said, we want to come at you at every direction. So, that to me, it sounds, Jimbo, you're a military guy. I've always been a guy that has been, I always read like military history and I like tactical people and on the ground stuff. And it just, when he talks about defense, it just sounds like Navy SEAL training a little bit. Like, we're going to come at you from everywhere. You don't know where we're going to come at you from, and we're going to keep coming, and we're not going to stop coming. When you say that type of stuff, it just, to me, what jumps out is attack, aggressively attacking. Yes. And I believe our front seven is going to be important with who we aggressively attack and where we aggressively attack. And you say, Mike Dub, what do you mean by that? This guy right here fits perfectly in Dean Pease' system. And this is a byproduct of, a lot of players will get drafted, overdrafted. Their height it'll supersede the production, and they'll get overdrafted with the lack of spring practices, with the opt-outs, with COVID, with protocols, with just getting people on a field to play football. This will be one of the most, I would say, oddball drafts that we've seen in the time. But because of that, some players that you would think would be traditionally first-round picks, if they had the benefit of pro days and interviews and face-to-face interviews, that may fall back, is this guy. And he is a Alabama guy. And again, we could use some Alabama guys on this defense. I'm going Dylan Moses, linebacker, 6'3", 235 pounds. Now, again, we talk a lot about, I saw on somewhere on the internet, somebody said, "Oh, the Falcons don't really need linebackers; they have linebackers." I completely disagree
Yeah, me
because
too.
I feel like there's only one Foy Aluakon and there's only one Debo Jones. We need more linebackers. We need to find more ways to utilize Mykal Walker, and we need to find other guys that can get pressure in other ways. Because I just said before, it's about where you get the pressure. Now, when we talk about where you get the pressure, where can it come from with Dylan Moses? I think that he has played all three linebacker spots at Alabama. He has shown the ability. He is a freakish linebacker, first of all. He can cover. He can run. His tackle, first of all, his missed tackle ratio is one of the best, like per ratio. Like if he puts his hands on the defender, 9 out of 10 times they fall to the ground. Those are the things that matter because as Falcons fans, we have all had our blood pressures tested with missed tackles, with linebackers loafing, with linebackers trying to hit with their forearms and not wrapping up, not wanting to, really wanting to tackle at the legs, not wanting to, follow through people. This is a guy where you don't really have those problems. He's a guy that's been well coached. He's had the benefit. Now, he did tear his ACL, but I think that if he didn't tear his ACL, he would already be in the NFL.
Yeah,
He would have already, been drafted. But he came back. I think he played well. He played for a team, got him another championship. This guy's been on everybody's radar since the 8th grade. He is a football player. He is a guy that, over time, to be honest with you, this is Deion Jones' defense. Let's be clear.
Oh yeah,
Deion Jones. This is Deion Jones' defense. But I would say over the next 4 to 5 years, you get a guy like that, it will eventually become Dylan Moses' defense, no matter where he goes. That's who I got in the 3rd round, Big Jumbo. What you think about Dylan Moses? I need to know.
I like this pick, man. And let me tell you something about Dylan Moses, okay? He did his thing on defense. But what Dylan Moses really made his name at was on special teams, coming down there and just laying somebody out. When you got a player that can go on special teams, a 5-star recruit that can go on special team and play it like he's playing on defense, that shows you his mentality. That shows you how he approached the game. That shows you how he feel about the game and how much he loved to play the game. And like Mike said, the guy don't miss no tackles. He's a hard-nosed, gritty football player. And yes, we have picked a lot of Alabama players in this mock draft and on this draft house, but they got the players, man. They got the people. They won the national championship. They won the national championship. So with Dylan Moses, with his hard-nosed, gritty, hard hat type of mentality, and just the fact that he started on special teams at the University of Alabama making plays shows me what type of football player he is. And I could go on about how big he is and how fast he is and this and that. But if you can get out there on special teams and attack the ball and be that standout guy on special team when you know you're a 5-star recruit and you should be starting over some players on defense, that shows me you willing to do what it takes to be successful. And that's why I like that pick, Mike. That's why I like Dylan Moses, and I think he's going to be a hell of an NFL player once he get up in the league. Great pick, big dog. This is Draft House, and we ain't playing no games right about now. You hear me? Come on now. Come on, Dylan Moses.
Come on, man. Come on, be a Falcon, man.
Not to mention, boy, he'll look real good in that new uniform. I keep saying that, but I know he will. Anyways, this is Draft House, man. We are back at it, big dog. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. I know y'all going to leave them comments from below because I don't reach, and Mike went Justin Fields at number 4. So I know y'all finna have some words for us, and we ready for those comments. The last video, the last Draft House had over 150 some comments in it. So it's all good. Keep it coming, baby. We love it. You got anything else before we get up out of here, Big Mike? This is this Draft House, baby.
No, listen, nothing but, man, y'all follow your boy at Mike Dub, MIKE_DUB. Again, I will tell y'all this. It's always, man, it's so much love. We see it. We see the passion. I see the comments. Hey, I see the disagreements. The one thing I love about y'all is even when we wrong, we got some of the best fact checkers in the nation. Listen,
no question about it.
If we wrong, I guarantee you can look at the comments and the clarification is in the comments. So when we wrong, and like Jimbo always said, we got our opinions. Y'all got y'all's. Y'all get us right because we want to give y'all true, objective Falcons material every week. That's what we do, Jimbo. Take these people.
That's what we do. Hey, you can catch me on Twitter at Jimmy Obama, JIMMYOBAMA. And I know y'all been hitting me up. I've been hitting y'all back. This is Prime ATL. Y'all can catch us live on Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern. You got Falcons Eye View with Big JR on Thursday. You got the think tank with the legendary Toby D on Monday, and then you got Draft Off with us on Saturday night. And look here, it just don't get no better than this. We're growing as a channel, we're growing as a fan base, and we all doing it together. Rise up to our Atlanta Falcons. Shout out to Arthur Smith. Shout out to Terry Fontenot. Shout out to Arthur Blanks for getting us right. Shout out to Dan. Coach Pease is off up in the building, baby. And it's going down. Let's get ready for this 2021 season together. And we're going to go through this off season together. We're going to do it together. Like, share, and subscribe. We're going to catch y'all next Saturday. We're going to catch y'all Wednesday on that live show. Hey, man, y'all be safe. Wear your mask. Stay frosty. And brush your teeth. This is Pound Fine ATL. Rise up, man. Adios.
Rise up.